Ben, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
My name is Ben Garrett. I am the Chief Experience Officer at Pixite. I'm also the UI and UX designer behind Spool, sort of looking at product vision, product features.
Let's kind of go all the way back. I've seen some of the earlier iterations of Spool. Talk a little bit about like some of the designs that were in the earlier stages, what you were thinking. Like, right now it's landed on this 12 pads, looks like a drum machine, functions very similar to it, and very like intuitive. How did you get from your first designs to where we are now?
Well, we went really far out there with all types of brainstorming of what could this thing do, and it came from what could you do, or how many different things could you do on a mobile app um, to easily create music synced visuals in an app? And
Hmm.
so that I think we kind of honed in on that. Like,
Right.
I think that was like the key idea. How do you sync visuals to music? How do you sync
Now,
video to music, effects, so on and so forth?
now at this point, there wasn't really a lot of apps out there. Like CapCut hadn't existed. I don't think like there really wasn't anything to base anything off of, right?
No, there's no competitors. I mean, there's no mobile app competitors.
So like you were looking at these apps and then like what kind of led you down to maybe we should make this more like an instrument.
I'm a music producer, and I'm familiar with drum machines and synths and sequencers, and I play with all this DAWless gear. It's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. This iconic 4x4 grid, there's something here. What if instead of me playing, you know, drum sounds, I'm actually playing video? Yeah, I think it felt accessible.
Hmm.
Like I said, there's the iconic 4x4 drum grid. Uh, that's familiar,
Hmm.
and you sort of get it right away. You're like, oh, okay, I tap these things and it shows the video. And so why can't we do that in a phone app or a iPad app? And so that was goal number one. Let's start there.
Okay. So like now at this point, like it's kind of taken a bit of a while for like phones to be able to have say that many videos like in an app working and functioning and kind of working together without like falling falling apart. 1080p was used to be really hard to even get to work on a phone. What kind of roadblocks did you run into, limitations and things like that to kind of like land where it is? Like it couldn't have been easy.
Well, right, you said it right there. Yeah. How do you get multiple streams of high res video to play back instantaneously when you tap a button? So there's literally no delay, no lag. Like it had to be super responsive. And so our brilliant team of developers worked tirelessly to create an engine that would do this. And it went through a few different iterations
Hmm.
until we finally got to a point where it was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is working. We actually don't have 16 videos. We have 12, so we've got a four
12,
by
yeah.
three grid. There may be a possibility to do four. So the point being, I think we got to 12. Like we could do 12 videos
Hmm.
in real time, and and then some of the other challenges were like, okay, playback is one thing, exporting is a whole nother thing, and
Yeah.
then with the playback, we weren't able to do high res playback, which we could only do sort of 480p playback. And then we had to figure out how to download high res versions of those videos to then stitch those together based on the sequence that you recorded and then export that out. So there's a lot of iterations in order to get to that point.
And these are some of the things you're thinking of right now. There's so many tiny little, oh snap, okay, we ran into this this problem now. I remember like some of the VIP days or the MVP days when we were doing like the 480 exports, and I'd get so frustrated, and I would like look at it like, oh, I know it's almost there, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
feeling when it finally hit the 1080, it was just such a relief. Like, oh, this is working now.